What's up, guys? It's Tuesday, September 13th. It's 12:18 p.m. and this is the newsletter. So jumping right into it, we got Ripple. Exchanges have dominated crypto service offerings, but banks have the opportunity to meet consumer demand for crypto by integrating these capabilities into their products. Dive deeper into the how and why with S. Joseph, Ripple's VP of Payments. So let's take a look at this. So race to exchange. This is an article from yesterday. So brand new. As the world of crypto and TradeFi blends, so basically the world of decentralized finance and traditional finance blends, and crypto grows in importance as a vehicle for global value transfers, and fiat itself gets represented by digital avatars, be it as a stablecoin or central bank digital currencies, the race to be the orchestrators of the global financial network has begun. By being crypto native, exchanges are taking the lead in this race, and they will hold on to it unless traditional financial institutions accelerate their efforts and claim the title. Though exchanges have jumped ahead, traditional finance institutions have some strong advantages they can and should leverage to outpace their new competitors. Traditionally, banks have been the trusted institutions that consumers use to manage their accounts. They not only help consumers store or invest their money, but also act as a trusted intermediary to exchange and transfer value. Governments rely on banks to propagate central bank monetary policies. The explicit and implicit government guarantees allow customers to trust their banks wholeheartedly, even if they have to pay a hefty fee for it. With each country, especially in emerging markets, being more or less an economic walled garden when it comes to cross-border money flows, governments made banks the entry point for capital flows via regulations and licenses. Historically, this has given big banks the upper hand in moving money across borders. Low competition and little incentive to innovate make the process more onerous, time-consuming, and expensive than it needs to be. The growth of crypto gave birth to exchanges. Even though the spirit of crypto is non-custodial, not your keys, not your money, average consumers want a custodial solution that helps them manage their keys and thereby manage their crypto. Exchanges cropped up to serve these needs, and along the way provided an increasing number of value-added services going beyond storing crypto to savings and loan type offerings with, for example, staking and yield opportunities. Since the underlying crypto networks are geographically agnostic, with the exception of regulations, and decentralized, the technical plumbing to move money anywhere in the world in a low-cost 365 24/7 and fast manner is built into the exchange offering. Ripple's on-demand liquidity solution easily moves money from one country to another, tapping into a global network of exchanges to transfer fiat to crypto. Currently, banks and exchanges each own a separate type of customer relationship. Banks own fiat needs and exchanges fulfill the crypto wants. Three things will blur this line. Regulators are gradually starting to open up to crypto, allowing both banks and exchanges with the right set of licenses to offer money movement and management services. As more central banks start to experiment with CBDCs and stablecoins become more pervasive, digital representation of fiat will necessitate digital representation of fiat will necessitate the need for crypto rails. And lastly, but more importantly, users are starting to see both fiat and crypto as similar offerings when it comes to the storage and movement of value. Given the early entry into crypto, exchanges are better positioned to tap into these trends to become the banking services of the future and capture a bigger share of the user's financial transactions. Banks will need to work hard to navigate these changes given the legacy processes and infrastructure they rely on. However, banks can get ahead of the curve by leveraging their vantage point and adding crypto offerings to their user base. The ingrained relationship that banks have with the users, the time-tested depth of it, and the scale of their user base give them an edge. Along with that, banks offer necessary built-in consumer protections. Each of these components have allowed banks to establish trusted relationships with their customers, trust which has faltered in some crypto-related companies in recent months given the current state of crypto. Nonetheless, consumer demand for crypto isn't going away, and it sure ain't. Banks stand to benefit exponentially from adding crypto capabilities to their offerings. Many are already exploring how they can offer the ability for users to buy, sell crypto, and how they can leverage crypto rails to move money across borders. Further down the line, cross-border payment rails will become even more decentralized and commoditized. Interesting set of verbiage right there. Taro and Lightning / Bitcoin is a good directional example of the shape of the future. And in that world, there will be many competing offerings as it becomes easier to build on top of decentralized rails with differentiated customer experiences. RippleNet, with years of building cross-border payments atop crypto and fiat rails, stands to gain with its compelling customer experience. Essentially, in the long run, it's anyone's race, but the decentralization of payment rails is leaning more tortoise than hare. Ripple is uniquely positioned to guide banks through this challenge, not just powering value transfer using crypto's enabled payment solution, but also enabling banks to provide crypto offerings for their users through our liquidity hub solution. It's traditional finance's game to win or lose. The race is on. And that's for sure. Because we just saw today, we'll get to the actual news article, but Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Citadel are all launching a kind of combined crypto exchange. So they're really gearing up now. So let's keep seeing here. So then we got Starbucks wants to onboard its customers to Web3 by offering an NFT loyalty program using Polygon. Polygon's pretty big for like these social media or like public companies. I think Instagram / Meta is using Polygon for NFTs. Now we see Starbucks using Polygon. So Polygon is definitely a good play as far as the adoption it's getting from these big institutions. So Polygon empowers Starbucks NFTs. Starbucks wants to make NFT traders out of coffee drinkers. Members of the Starbucks Odyssey program can earn and buy NFTs to access exclusive merch and events. Starbucks had first hinted at developing Web3 experiences in May. While built on Polygon, Nifty Gateway will provide NFT marketplace functionality. They're going on their own quest to test Web3's power over brand loyalty. The coffee giant on Monday announced a partnership with Ethereum scaling platform Polygon, along with the creation of a new rewards program, Starbucks Odyssey. As an extension of Starbucks' existing rewards program, the scheme will enable users to earn and purchase digital collectible assets, NFTs, that will unlock certain benefits and immersive coffee experiences. US-based Starbucks rewards members and employees, who the chain refers to as partners, can play games and complete challenges that test their knowledge of coffee and the Starbucks brand. The reward NFTs, or as the company calls them, journey stamps. Members can also purchase the NFTs with either crypto or a credit card and trade them in a custom Starbucks Odyssey marketplace. No crypto wallet or cryptocurrency will be required. So now you're seeing all these big companies really hop on the train. Every company is going to launch an NFT by 2025. I'll tell you that. And then we have Coinbase adding support for Hedera Hashgraph. It actually did get delayed though, so to be determined on that. It was supposed to happen today, but we'll see if they found like a bug or something that they needed to fix real quick. So I'm sure it'll be no later than this weekend. But then we have, so assets added to the roadmap today, Pangolin. So that's that coin. I think we're getting airdropped. So if we click on it, so we're waiting for a couple of these coins to be listed. Pangolin, HBAR, Audius, Somnium Space Cubes, I think it was Boyzin Protocol as well too. So we're still waiting for those to get added. But Hedera seems like it's next in line. But Pangolin is that one, I believe, that we're getting airdrop. Let me go to it here. Yeah, Pangolin right there. So it's getting added to Coinbase. If we look at the chart of Pangolin, this is like a moonshot waiting to happen, especially if it's getting listed on Coinbase. Because if we go to it right here, it only trades on CoinEx and Gate.io. And those are very like, what do you call it? Very like low liquidity exchanges, very sketchy exchanges. So when you have this getting listed on Coinbase, a very reputable exchange with a lot of liquidity, who knows what could happen to the price? Because we even saw a reaction yesterday based off the news. If I go to like the 1 hour chart, we saw a nice pop up. We went from 0.052 cents to like basically a double. So in like 15 minutes or an hour is basically a double. Yeah. And then we corrected back down now. But I mean, with this getting added to Coinbase, it could be a runner. So if we even scroll out and look at a bigger picture, look here, you see a lot of buying volume here, a lot of buying volume. And this is a 2-day chart. If I go on the 1-day chart, we're likely flipping the EMA ribbon. We got rejected right on the 200-day moving average. And if I go to the 3-day chart, we're getting above the green, but the 2-day chart really tells a story as far as like when we crossed from green to red, we really went into a downtrend. You could even see the break of the trend line or the downtrend here. It was like consistent. So we're just ping ponging back and forth in this channel. And then right here at this moment, we changed trends and we just started kind of ranging sideways. So something like that. So now we're building a new trend. And now we just got a nice big green candle here popping up. Stock RSI is gaining momentum. Pink's crossing through. TSI is crossing through, getting ready to explode through the zero line. RSI is getting heavy. MACD switching from red to green. This one might be a moonshot. And then we have the 2-day buy warning waiting for the buy now, but I'm sure it's going to come in by this candle close that happens at 8 p.m. So this one, I might, mess around on. I still need to figure out if we're getting airdropped or not. It's very unclear. So I'm going to still find that out. And I will find that out today, because if we're not getting an airdrop, then I'm definitely going to maybe hop on over to gate.io or maybe through like MetaMask or something like that and pick some of this up just in the event that this thing skyrockets, because it's like a decentralized exchange built on top of Avalanche. That's game changer. And they're partnered with Flare and Songbird. From current levels to get back to all-time highs from where it was at September of last year, so 1 year ago. So it's been a full year. If we just get back to where we were in September of last year, we're talking 37 times their money. 37 times. So if I even go to coinmarketcap.com and see where Pendulum is sitting right now, sure, it's probably not even on here. Let me look. PNG. All right, there we go. 8 million market cap. Extremely, extremely small cap coin. This is a small cap coin. To go 30x, the market cap would be, I think, 240 million, I think. So say 8 million market cap times, I think we're saying 34x. That's a 272 million market cap. But if you go to the first page of CoinMarketCap, 272 million, it would still be on the second page. It would be around 117. So, that's not all out of the realms of possibility here, especially when Voyager token's sitting at 241 million market cap and they went bankrupt. So it's definitely not out of the cards. I'm definitely going to look into this heavy today, because I'm going to strike on this if this is the case. So we can see Pendulum or whatever it is right here. So ARC20 tokens on the Avalanche network, it's going to be listed. So we'll have to see. I'll keep you updated as far as the airdrop goes. Then we got VC firms are still pouring big money into metaverse and Web3 gaming startups. The institutional interest and adoption has not waned at all during this crypto winter. That's for sure. It's definitely picked up more. And then guys, we had BlackRock, the biggest asset manager in the world, partner with Coinbase a couple weeks ago. If that doesn't scream the bottom is in, I don't know what else does. Why would they jump in full-fledged when everybody else doesn't want to touch it? It's because they know this is the bottom. It was the mark of validation that it's good to get back in the market. So social media users can accidentally end up downloading harmful bots via malicious links. So be careful when you're clicking on links on socials. And then the merge, we're getting really close here. And then SEC plans new office of crypto assets to find soft targets. We already went through that. And then we went through the 2022 new value report. And then expand and excel your business. Learn why industry leaders choose our cross-border payment solution to eliminate pre-funding, offer affordable payments, enable faster payments, open doors into new markets. Let's see if we read this or not. Oh yeah, we watched this video before. So big stuff out of them. And then so XRP is a stable coin. Capco equals the capital markets company said yes. Distributed ledger technology and cross-border institutional payments white paper. So I wonder what's the peg value. So we see this report, seems like it's from 2020, Distributed Ledger Technology and Cross-Border Institutional Payments White Paper by Capco. We have these authors up here. Capco is a global technology and management consultancy dedicated to the financial services industry. And it seems like they're pretty big. We serve clients in leading financial centers across the Americas, Europe, and Asia Pacific. There's all their offices, so they're legit. And then you have current and potential applications of the technology. And then they have, for this enclosed distributed ledger ecosystem to work, vehicle is required to transfer funds between accounts. The bridge currency, right? It's a bridge settlement mechanism. So a vehicle is required to transfer funds between accounts. A scenario where institutions consistently agree upon conversion rates for each trade value would slow transactions down considerably. Instead, the institutions could utilize a stablecoin of choice, such as Ripple XRP, or one developed in their consortium. According to Ripple, cross-border transactions using its system take under 7 seconds to occur. Each member bank could purchase an amount of the stablecoin, then they peg to the value of their currency of choice at a time of the transaction and trade it across the network to then be cashed out on the receiving end for the currency of choice. Each member bank would then have the option of using a stablecoin to enable transactions across the border and conduct the transactions over multiple currencies and forms of collateral. It's everything that BRICS is talking about right now. And I think BRICS has their conference this week, and I'm hearing that they're going to be sharing some big news. So we'll have to see about that. But then you had in the same document, IBM also announced the successful testing of its WorldWire network in March 2019 to handle cross-border transactions using both stablecoins and cryptocurrencies. IBM's WorldWire network actually uses Stellar and XLM and Stronghold. So that's a fact right there. And then, but it's interesting that they're talking about Stellar and XRP as stablecoins, kind of like global stablecoins that are going to be tied and kind of repriced. The currencies will be repriced to these stablecoins, and it'll be a global stablecoin where you can convert from one currency to another currency and utilize that global stablecoin as that way of transferring value from one place to another place. It's right there. You know, all the signs are there. Brother, a former Coinbase manager, pleads guilty to insider trading charges. SEC versus Ripple. We are not only on the right side of the law, but we will be on the right side of history. Then they don't have to say XRP to use XRP. Listen carefully. Other external systems, which they don't know the names of.
Really closely at the end of the day. Now, this is where things get very interesting. So here are some of the projects. We got Project Nexus, Project Enbridge, Project Dunbar, Project Eura. And if you guys read through all of these, it's all just little cover-ups. And if you read really closely at the end of the day, it all somehow indirectly or directly connects back to Ripple and XRP. And I'm going to show you exactly why right here. Let's, for example, take a look at Project Dunbar. When we take a look at Project Dunbar, published March, and go to this section right here, standards and interoperability. A multi-CBDC platform will need to connect with external systems. Furthermore, to enable global payments across all jurisdictions and currencies.
We have the technology to allow every financial institution on the planet to settle with every other financial institution in a compatible jurisdiction in any asset.
CBDC platform will need to connect with other national or regional multi-CBDC platforms. Interoperability, or the ability for these systems to communicate with each other easily, seamlessly, will be crucial for global connectivity. Standards, or a common language and a set of expectations, will be key to enabling interoperability between these systems. So you may ask yourself what this other external system is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, because the world is about to find out exactly how this is all going to play out.
Coincidences are all there. So then we have, they're holding the industry to a very different standard. Digital Chamber CEO Perian says, addressing the SEC's failure to approve a Bitcoin spot ETF. Frankly, we think it's discriminatory, she says. And then the NFTs on the XRP ledger has been delayed. They found a little exploit, but they're fixing it. I'm sure it'll be by the end of this month. And then why I think India's pending CBDC will be built with Ripple on the XRP ledger. Yes, this is speculation. Go and get a coffee and strap in. Here's everything you need to know. So the path forward for digital assets adoption in India. This is a policy perspective on the state of play of digital assets globally and recommendations for Indian policymakers. Ripple put this out June 2020. So let's start with something a lot of you may not know. One of Ripple's original ideas regarding the distribution of XRP was to give it away to every person in India. I didn't know that. They didn't follow through with this idea, but it shows the importance of this market to the team at Ripple. Their next thoughts, again from Ashish Birla, go after the top 3 commercial banks in India and you get 80% market share. Then they looked at mobile banking and exclaimed in 2018 that in their pipeline, they probably have 50% of the Indian market. So this leads to the question, what did they achieve? Well, they seem to have signed a deal with the Federal Bank of India for a new cross-border payment system. Reserve Bank of India has 671 branches and 681 ATMs. Now we have Axis Bank. Axis Bank is the 3rd largest private sector bank in India and covers large and medium corporates, SMEs, agriculture, and retail businesses. With its 3,485 domestic branches and 14,332 ATMs across the country, they had partnered with Ripple. Ripple makes international remittances faster and transparent. This was November 22nd, 2017. And then next we have Kotak Mahindra Bank, a leading bank in India with over 1,300 branches. Kodak will use Xcurrent to power instant remittance payments right there. And then now we have addressed Ripple's goals with domestic banks. I think it's time we move on to speculate about their CBDC coming out of India this financial year. Why? How may Ripple and the XRPL be involved? This is where we get speculative, but bear with me, because remember we saw this. India's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, has reportedly asked 4 public sector banks to run a pilot central bank digital currency project ahead of a possible rollout in this financial year. So they're now looking for staff. I'm not going to get into all this nitty gritty, but I do think as well, India will be utilizing XRP Ledger for their CBDC. So interestingly enough, there have been multiple documents referring to XRP as a stablecoin. Not saying that's the case, but the documents exist. Payments Association in London, Image 1, 2022, Treasury Management, and World Bank, Image 2, 2021. So how Bitcoin/volatile assets differs to XRP/stablecoins. The difference between consumer-facing applications and treasury management, how digital currencies can be used for cross-border payments and other use cases. And then we have here stablecoins for cross-border payments. Stablecoins refer to a class of digital currencies that are relatively stable in terms of their price. Stablecoins offer instantaneous processing and security of payments, as many cryptocurrencies do. They also offer stability with respect to their parity against fiat currencies. 2 digital currencies that fall into this, remember, this is the World Bank. So 2 digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native digital currency, Ripple XRP, and Stellar's network's native cryptocurrency, the Stellar Lumen. Both Ripple and Stellar enable faster and more efficient cross-border payments relative to correspondent banking. However, they differ in that the former aims at improving cross-border settlement between international banks, whereas the latter aims at providing low-cost cross-border payment financial services to end users in the unbanked population. Stellar is for retail, where XRP is for bankers. Right there. The World Bank in 2021 was laying it out for us. And then it seems like the case is moving along. So Ripple defendants, for a reason stated earlier, opposed SEC's request. Let's keep going. So Fidelity, we told you guys this early, is weighing a plan to allow individual investors to trade Bitcoin on its brokerage platform. And then you have Abra launching first U.S. regulated crypto bank. Digital asset company Abra hopes to offer crypto yields with TradeFi's safeguard of over 100 cryptocurrency, they say. Ethereum's upcoming merge is drawing the attention of institutional investors. Fidelity plans to offer Bitcoin trading to its 34 million clients. And then we have Fidelity consider, same thing. And then on Friday, September 16th, so this Friday, there will be $3 trillion worth of options expiring. Record call volumes and SPX options, Goldman's trading desk. Are you hedged to the upside? Because a whole lot of traders aren't. That's true. A whole lot of people aren't thinking, well, what if the market just reverses and just explodes? Are you going to be sidelined, right? I feel like a lot of people will be sidelined. A lot of people are expecting a recession or depression, and it doesn't really happen like that. I feel like people are prepared for a immense crash, where usually when an immense crash happens, people aren't prepared for it. So I don't think it's time yet, but we'll see. Managing treasury flows for any business is never easy, but Latin America faces particular challenges in this area, especially small and medium enterprises. Learn how the region is streamlining cross-border payments in an effort to strengthen local economies. We already read this article, but Chris Giancarlo, former CFTC chairman, and he was the kind of founder, started the Digital Dollar Project, says he thinks that the CFTC will control crypto because they are focused on innovation, unlike the SEC. So this was the delay of the HBAR. And then there's less systemic risk with ODL. So XRapid, which is on-demand liquidity, actually reduces systemic risk to a country because the banks have more sovereign control over their own currency. And then Ripple SEC case, District Judge Torres has approved the parties' joint scheduling proposal to govern sealing issues relating to the upcoming summary judgment motions. Here are the dates. So September 19th, October 18th, October 20th, October 24th, November 15th. So wow, it's all lining up with the key dates. And then we have enterprise blockchain provider targets Wall Street partners with rebranding. So Symbiont's brand refresh to push distributed ledger technology as financial market infrastructure. And then Middle Eastern country Bahrain to test Bitcoin payments. And then we got XD. Now we already saw that. So let's listen to this. Corridor from Saudi Arabia to India in 2019. India, like another Brazil, keep watching.
Ripple to manage. We started looking into solutions in the market. We're looking for a future-proof technological solution. And at the top of these solutions, we found Ripple to manage or to address all our strategic asks, which is basically a fast, cheap, transparent, and safe transaction.
As a receiving bank, one of those players was extremely focused as concerned, and remittances is a big opportunity for India in the overall scheme of things, with the last World Bank report having talked about almost 79 billion coming to the country in 2018. When we first met Mr. Rao from Ripple, it happened at one of the large global networking events. We realized that it's something which is very different and very unique, and what the world had not seen all this while, and sort of lashed onto the opportunity, got discussing, trying to figure out what is it that we could do.
During our search for a partner on Ripple, we partnered with Indocent for many, many reasons. We've gone through a lot of selection criteria and due diligence, and we started to collectively start this journey together. The fact that you can see where a transaction is happening, so it tells you that it left the organization, it's on the way to be received to the other client and then received by other client. So we'll have to build a customer experience around that to make sure that the customer feels so comfortable when using it.
It has been one of the most pleasant experiences in terms of going live with a new partner. See, I've been in this business for almost 15 years now, and normally one were to do a bilateral tie-up with a counterparty on the other side, it could take you months. And the legal agreements, time-consuming, talks between technology teams, coming to understanding and agreement. It can take ages, and at times it can be very, very frustrating. And as Gara rightly said, I think this was one of those integrations that perhaps was up and running.
We started looking into
where it was all about the crypto asset class. No one wanted to talk about blockchain technology or real world use cases. And in fact, TradFi is a liability. It's like, don't even want to talk about like being anchored to reality. Like this is like something new, and definitely don't want to get in the way of like, you know, the new world order that's being built. Where
Interesting. So Argentina has formalized its BRICS membership application. Who are other possibilities? Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Turkey. Worth following this closely, because if this happens, the world will dramatically change. A lot of countries are trying to get in a BRICS membership. So we recently learned that Binance is, this is the Digital Pound Foundation, recently learned that Binance is converting user funds to its BUSD stablecoin from alternatives, including USDC. In this video from CoinDesk, Binance Chief Communications Officer Patrick Hillman shares his insights on the matter. Let us keep going. So understand what table you're sitting at. Just make sure you leave room for dessert. So the future of financial infrastructure, World Economic Forum, August 2016. We're talking 6 years ago. An industry project of the financial services community, prepared in collaboration with Deloitte. You have lists of subject matter experts. In addition, the project team experts, and gratitude to the following subject matter experts who contribute their valuable perspectives through interviews and workshops. Chris Larson from Ripple, Dilip Rao from Ripple. You have a ton of banks here. You have Swift here. You have the Bank of America. You have Chain there. So we got Ripple, Chain. Let's see if Stellar's here. I bet they are. Let's see. Maybe on the next one. So Ripple, Swift. Let's see. Nope, not there. We have Circle, so USDC. You have the DTCC, Swift again. DTCC again. You got I'm surprised Stellar is not on there. Circle again, USDC. But yeah, so we have Chain, Ripple as far as cryptos on there. Then Russia to start international trades with Bitcoin and crypto in 2023. It's confirmed now. So a Russian news agency reported multiple government officials deliberating on accepting Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies as payment for international trade in 2023. So a Russian news agency, yep, we read that. Russia may begin accepting Bitcoin and some cryptos as payment for international trade in 2023. The announcement of a timeline for the usage of the alternative payment method for cross-border payments comes a week after the Russian Central Bank and Ministry of Finance agreed the move would be necessary. We have a number of legislative initiatives that we're working out in working order, but which have not yet been formally submitted to the government. Russia will enable businesses to choose whether they want to use Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrencies allowed by the state. The operations of this procedure are expected to be facilitated by the Moscow and St. Petersburg stock exchanges. Therefore, there may be different options for how international payments can be implemented. Also, I know that there are deputies in the state who are actually engaged in this topic. Let's see. After consultation with the central bank, this decision will be made. There are also interdepartmental debates on whether or not to classify Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies as property, according to the report. This designation would also affect the way these transactions are taxed. So indeed, Russia has ebbed and flowed from lockstep to contemptuous deliberation concerning Bitcoin and its use for international payments. The Bank of Russia at one point was discussing a ban, which led Russian Vladimir Putin to announce his support for mining Bitcoin. Then a bill was proposed earlier this year by the Russian government addressing regulations of digital assets, which was followed by a proposal from the Ministry of Finance. So there we go. Things are moving fast now. And then we have the state of central bank digital currencies. So you get a real good look at it. So over 100 countries worldwide exploring digital currency, introducing regulated digital currencies issued by countries. All right, we know that. So issued a CBDC for widespread retail and our wholesale use. So this is a good depiction right here. I'm going to save this. So US inflation has fallen to 8.3%, lowest since April 2022. And then we have, let's listen to this. XRP is here to provide liquidity for the new financial system.
Where do you feel? I tell you, you've done your homework, Jimmy. Okay, there's a lot of speculation on the price of XRP after it becomes regulated, after regulatory clarity. Where do you feel that XRP, just based on your honest opinion, is going to hit, say, a month after regulation?
Yeah. So we believe that the last domino to fall on regulation right now is the SEC lawsuit, and that could be resolved in a variety of ways, but it could also be resolved in regulation coming. We know it's imminent, though, right? So when I say imminent, I would be surprised if a quarter from now we're really still embroiled in the SEC lawsuit, because I think the state of affairs throughout the world is such that we're going to need a solution like an XRP for liquidity purposes sooner rather than later. So the question is then, okay, we've magically resolved it. Where does the price go? It's easy to project that it's a double-digit number. So I think it immediately shoots up to a $10, potentially $20. The wild card to me is that there is actually a deal to be done among the central banks and governments to basically have XRP work as the world's bridge currency, a neutral asset that could be traded between the central banks to move a specific type of fiat to another type of fiat. If that's what occurs, it's back to what we were discussing earlier. It's got to cover kind of all the money. And I think you're looking at a range that XRP would settle on agreement. So this would happen instantaneously, somewhere between $10,000 and $35,000 a coin. And our lives will be, maybe the same, maybe different. I don't know. Probably a little different.
Definitely a little different. That's for sure. Former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal says XRP network will play central role in future CBDC system. He knows. Then this was back in 2016. So Ripple and R3 team up with 12 banks to trial XRP for cross-border payments, October 20th, 2016. That's how long they've been working on this. And look at the banks involved: Barclays, BMO Financial Group, CIBC, Intesa San Paulo, that's Brazil, I believe, Macquarie Group, National Australia Bank, Natixis, Nordea, Royal Bank of Canada, Santander, Scotiabank, and Westpac Banking Corporation. Rather than relying on no-show accounts to hold various currencies around the world, banks can enable real-time value exchange by using an independent digital asset. This blockchain-inspired alternative to correspondent banking provides on-demand liquidity and dramatically reduces associated costs. It's like the more and more you read it, it's like the more and more it makes sense. It's crazy what we're in right now. And then we have so far beautiful continuation off the lows in the 90-day change in realized price. So you can see every time we hit this level here, usually we see a bottom, hit this level, bottom. We've hit that level. We bottom, guys. Every chart, fundamental developments are signaling that we bottom. And then bank battle looms if Treasury calls for e-dollar. So let's read this. So a report that the Treasury Department is going to recommend the creation of a digital dollar right up to the point of deciding whether one is actually in the national interest is effectively recommending the creation of a US CBDC. The news came out from crypto industry news outlet CoinDesk, citing someone who said that agency's forthcoming Future of Money report will recommend building a CBDC, a process expected to take a minimum of 5 years. It won't take that long. And then deciding whether or not to use it. That decision, the person who declined to be identified told the outlet, should hinge on whether it is in the national interest to launch a US CBDC. The Treasury Department is in effect recommending the creation of a digital dollar. The protect the dollar as world's reserve currency argument will have a lot to do with that. So I guess we're going to see a report coming out of the US Treasury called, or was it, forthcoming Future of Money report. That's going to be interesting. Check that out when it comes out. And then we have Bank of International Settlements today. We've been talking about it. The Basel Committee oversight body, GHOS, has reiterated its expectation of the full and consistent implementation of Basel IV as soon as possible, as well as updating on climate and crypto work. Let's see what it's saying here. Then also, too, this is a great time to see if an agreement can be reached. Eyes open between September 13th and September 19th as far as the XRP Ripple SEC case. Let's keep going up here. New York investment firm KKR Co., investment giant, puts portion of private equity fund on Avalanche. So it put a portion of its private equity fund on the Avalanche blockchain in partnership with Securitize. And then the Basel Committee, again, BIS, has tasked it with finalizing a robust and prudent regulatory framework for banks' crypto asset exposures by around the end of this year, with the aim of promoting innovation while preserving financial stability. We're going to read these two BIS articles at the end. Then awareness of the XRP ledger as a layer 1 option has been increasing. Those speeds, fees, scalability, low energy uses, and a track record of 10 years running, built in a decentralized exchange, tokenization, source, and liquidity. Then starting September 7, guests staying at Palazzo Versace Dubai are able to settle their respective hotel bills using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB. Bank of International Settlements, Group of Central Bank Governors, Heads of Supervision, Framework for Responsible Innovation in Crypto Assets due by the end of this year. The Group of Central Bank Governors, Head of Supervisions, met on the 12th of September, so yesterday, to reaffirm its expectations on implementing Basel III and to provide direction on key areas of work by the committee. They're trying to do this as fast as possible. And it's working on climate-related financial risks and crypto assets and the importance of a stable regulatory framework to facilitate implementation. Then you have here, on crypto assets, members reiterated the importance of designing a robust and prudent regulatory framework for banks' exposures to crypto assets that promote responsible innovation while preserving financial stability. The GHOS tasked the committee with finalizing such a framework around the end of this year. So they also took note of the ongoing work by the committee to evaluate the impact of Basel III standards already implemented on the resilience and behavior of the banking system. Members emphasized the importance of focusing on the implementation of outstanding Basel III reforms before considering any policy or supervisory implications related to findings of the committee's evaluation work. And let's keep going here. That's a bunch of charts. Oh, this was huge. Financial heavyweights Charles Schwab, Citadel, Fidelity, and others have come together to start digital asset exchange, EDX markets. Traditional financial giants are now tapping into crypto like we've never seen before. So we have financial heavyweights including Charles Schwab, Citadel Securities, and Fidelity Investments announced the start of a cryptocurrency exchange, EDX Markets, the latest evidence Wall Street is forging ahead in digital assets despite the crypto winter. The exchange will be led by CEO Jamil Nazarali, formerly a senior executive at Citadel Securities, billionaire Ken Griffin's massive trading operation. Other high-profile EDX backers include trading firm Virtue Financial and venture capital firm Secua Capital and Paradigm. The news follows an announcement last month from BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, that it will give its institutional clients a way to invest into cryptocurrencies. Crypto is a $1 trillion global asset class with over 300 million participants and pent-up demand for millions more. EDX Markets board of directors said in a statement, unlocking this demand requires a platform that can meet the needs of both retail traders and institutional investors with high compliance and security standards. The firm's trading platform will be provided by the Members Exchange, a U.S. stock market owned by a consortium of financial firms, including some of EDX creators. We have literally powerhouse heavyweights with trillions and trillions of dollars of assets under management. We're talking BlackRock with 10 trillion alone. Fidelity has multiple trillions. Charles Schwab, Citadel, right? They're all tapping into crypto. Crypto is such a small market. There's only $1 trillion in the total asset class, and like more than, a little less than half of it is in Bitcoin. And basically, you have more than half of it being in Bitcoin and Ethereum only. Wait until they open up all these trillions to be invested into these other coins. We're going to see these coins moon. Like they're diving into it. This stuff's not going away. We're in the coins that are valuable via their solution that they're providing for a real world problem. So all we got to do is sit back and relax and watch it play out. $21 million in Bitcoin long liquidations in 30 minutes after the CPI news today. Yeah, we did kind of slam down pretty fast today. And then China and Russia building more just world order. So China and Russia building more just world order. China is willing to shape the international order together with Russia in a more just and rational direction. And then warning from the exchanges. So the final stage of the Ethereum merge is almost here. As a precaution, we are briefly suspending all transfer withdrawals of Ethereum, ERC20, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain tokens starting September 13, 2022. At a safe point after the completion of the merge, we will notify you when services return to normal. Please rest assured that your funds are safe and no action is needed on your part. Then Ethiopian Central Bank restricts the amount of cash travelers can hold. So they can only hold up to like $190 per travel. So they're trying to ban cash. And then we got Senate hearing could mark the start of the playoffs and maybe the Super Bowl for crypto regulation. So this Thursday, the U.S. Senate Agriculture Committee will hold a legislative hearing for the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act of 2022. And we're going to see a battle between the SEC and CFTC for who's going to get the territory to regulate cryptos. So central bank, we went through that. So there's going to be October 12th to October 14th, a CBDC think tank in DC. I'm sure we'll see some big news out of there. And then this is a guy on Twitter asking David Schwartz, the CTO, co-creator of Ripple. He asked David if he believed the price increase would be a slow and steady process or caused by a mass adoption event and shoot up. I'm going to try and recall the best I can after a rum tasting event, but he didn't take the mass adoption off the table and said that the flaw with the slow and steady idea is that if it starts to move slow and steady, investors will take note and want to hold it, and it won't stay that way. If you disagree, all right, if you need If you need $1 million worth of XRP to make payments, the market price will be $1 million. The price of XRP doesn't affect anything. However, higher prices mean that same size payments will move the market less, making them cheaper. So higher is better. It can't be dirt cheap. That doesn't make any sense. If XRP costs $1, they need 1 million XRP, which would cost $1 million. If XRP costs $1 million, they need 1 XRP, which would again cost $1 million. Makes perfect sense. And then powerful lobbyist joins Ripple XRP in the SEC lawsuit. And then MTech to pilot a US CBDC in the digital dollar project. So MTech utilizes HBAR. And then, so Kevin O'Leary names 2 Ethereum rivals that he believes could challenge Ethereum. And it was HBAR, Solana, and Polygon Matic. And then another thing out of the BIS, the Basel Committee Oversight Body warns of risk from inflation and deteriorating economic outlook. It also stresses the need to be able to absorb potential losses as public support measures that shielded banks over the past 2 years are unwound. So I'm going to pull that up. So China's Xi vows to defend common security ahead of Central Asia visit. And then you got Africa Tech Summit, West Africa Edition. Ghana delighted to welcome Hedera as a supporting partner of this year's summit. I believe the Bank of Ghana, their currency is built on Hedera. And then Ripple whale transaction spike with over 421 million XRP on the move. And then we read that. And then the cryptocurrency bill introduced in the Parliament of Uruguay gives the central bank the capacity to oversee digital asset activities in the industry. And then summit with Putin, Z to showcase an alternative to Western world, Kremlin says. So this week is going down. And then BRICS is coming, a nice choice for a meeting. So Russia's Putin, China's Xi will hold bilateral talks on September 15th, so 2 days. Russia's Putin will discuss Ukraine, Taiwan. India's Modi will meet on Friday. We'll discuss trade, sales of Russian fertilizers, and mutual food supplies. And then you got BRICS. So Russia eyes Bitcoin for international trade 2023. We already went through that. So let me just see if anything else popped up real quick. Nope. And then let's go into these final documents. So we have the Basel III implementation. Let's see if there's anything in here. I think I've read basically from that summary, but more than 2/3 of jurisdictions plan to implement all or the majority of the standards in 2023 or 2024, with the remaining jurisdictions planning to implement Basel III in 2025. There are only a limited set of technical standards that are particularly subject to an implementation delay. So the framework, full consistent manner as soon as possible in order to provide a regulatory level playing field for internationally active banks. These banks should continue preparing for the forthcoming implementation of the standards. All right, so we can keep moving on. I think this is the same thing. Yep, same thing. And this is the same thing too. It was all the same document. So, all right, guys, that's it for the newsletter. A whole lot of stuff, a lot of big things, big institutions hopping on board. The bottom's in. I'm going to continue to say it. I think the dollar might start to curl over sometime soon today by the end of the day. We'll have to be watching it. So that's it for the newsletter. I'll see you guys in the Discord.